Hello, all you heavy hitters out there on YouTube. Welcome back to Mastodon Commons Collecting. As always, I am your host, Mastodon. This is episode 8 of Marvel Graphic Novel Reviews. Today, Super Boxers. This is brought to us by the creative team of Ron Wilson, John Byrne, and Armando Gil. Released in August of 1983. And this was a fun read for me. Um, Set in a dystopian future, uh, I wouldn't say a post-apocalyptic future, but there's a lot of um, overtones from other science fiction out there within this. It's kind of in the vein of things like Blade Runner, Running Man, um, Rollerball, uh, and a kind of a reminder of a certain Doctor Who episode, a story arc that I remember, um, from the Fourth Doctor's era, where everything in this future is under the rule of corporations. Oh, Death Race 2000 is another movie that this kind of put me in mind of. Um, but the corporations and I know what you may be thinking. That's not far from where we're at in reality. Um, but it is blatant. Everybody knows that the corporation or the government. There's no real government. It's the corporations rule everything, and it has been focused down to a select few. Uh, it's kind of that portion of it kind of reminds me of Into the Badlands somewhat, um, where there's just a small conglomerate of or group of factions that are the ruling portions. Um, and this is a gladiatorial story. Again, they're boxers, and they have their champions, um, like an underground fight club. Well, not really. Um, but you have the corporations, obviously, as I said, and uh, their star boy is Roman. But in the underground, which is technically illegal in this story, the working class have their own uh, combat scene, and almost like a speakeasy type atmosphere. They have to keep it hush hush because again, it's illegal for them to do this type of thing. Only the corporations can run boxing matches, as it were, and they have these suits, almost like a power suit, um, to make it more uh, exciting, we'll say. Um, and they have various classes of suits. But the champion of the underground, of the working class, is a man named Max, and he's rough and brought up in the streets, whereas Roman was born and bred for this situation. And I liked how they kind of gave you Max's story, and then they would give you a little bit of Roman's story, and then kind of not back and forth, but vice versa. I thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of how Ron Wilson wrote this. Um, the the art, uh, John Byrne in classic form. Uh, I feel he displayed it appropriately. The tones, it's kind of a painted art, um, somewhat reminiscent of P. Craig Russell's work in the earlier books that I've done. Um, it's this is a story of power and love and ultimate betrayal. Uh, it it has all those elements of those types of stories. It also it's very campy, and I think that's what I liked about it. Now I came across a couple reviews that I'll be putting the links in the description for you to check out. But the one review suggested that this was kind of a hiccup in the the Marvel graphical novel line, which may be the case. I can see where uh, this wouldn't have garnered enough popularity um, to get to have the proper mass appeal. Uh, but I enjoyed it. That being said, I for me, I'm the type of person that enjoys some of the rougher stuff, some of the uh, things that most everybody else doesn't like. Um, and so this appealed to me. I do. Like I said, it was a fun read. It wasn't fantastic. It doesn't beat out the Death of Captain Marvel or God Loves Man Kills, you know, or Dreadstar. But it was definitely a fun read. It was worth the read. I was happy to pick this up, and uh, interested in checking out some more of Ron Wilson's work. Um, I know I think there's one or two other uh, books in the graphic novel line that he was involved with. So I'll get there eventually, I guess. But give it a shot, uh, whether you are able to find it on digital or in your local library. It was a fun read. If you're a fan of Blade Runner or any of those movies that I previously mentioned, this fits into that category, and I think you'll have fun with it. I give it a 7.5 out of 5, or 7.5. Excuse me, 7.5 out of 5. 7.5 uh, grade, 7.5 grade, um, and I thought it was a good story. So that being said, stay tuned for the next episode. The Futurians from Dave Cockrum. This is one that I've been very intrigued by. I've been anticipating reading it, a little excited for this one. That cover is just fantastic. True Dave Cockrum. So in the meantime, get out there and read some books. Keep collecting, keep reading, and keep sharing.